SH Figuarts Princess Leia is in the DorkLair! Welcome to another DorkLair action figure review. If you enjoy this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there in the corner. Now, let's take a look at Senator Organa. So this figure was just released. This is a standard SH Figuarts figure. It retailed for 64 yen, and I think a lot of places had it as usual less than that on pre-order. I think I got it for 5,800 on HobbyLink, which came to, at current rates, $52. My overall impressions of this figure is that it looks great. I think it's a really good looking figure. I think that the face sculpt is nice, not perfect. I think it might not be quite as good as some of the other SH Figuarts likenesses, but I think it looks good. I think, though, however, the accessories and sort of some of the posing and stuff are a little bit finicky. So it gets a little bit of a knock for me because it just becomes a bit cumbersome to try to deal with some of the swapping out of parts and handling of pieces and so on and so forth. Let's take a look at the packaging. Standard SH Figuarts box. It's been the same. I like it very much. It's got the foil lettering on the front, picture of the character on the side. It's got product details on the back, Star Wars on that side, and just nice, compact, really slick, very modern kind of packaging. I enjoy that. And the details on Princess Leia are quite nice. Very realistic looking face paint using the print technology. Not quite perfect and accurate as good as something like their Mace Windu, but still quite good in my opinion. You can see the hair. There's a bit of black wash to give it depth. You'll also see a wash on the fabric. Let me just take the blaster out of her hand and you can take a look at. There's a little bit of a yellowing going on, like she's seen some action because, you know, she's basically in a battle when we see her in this outfit for the first time. Lots of wrinkles sculpted in. She's got the belt with silver on it. These are separate, so 3 separate skirt pieces that are soft, sort of vinyl-like pieces. You can take a look at the boots here. Some nice weathering going on the boots as well. Again, seeing some action. Bottom of the boots, flat. So, obviously you're going to get some posing limitations with this, but not too bad. Like, it's a little tricky, but you can actually get her to crouch down a little bit and you know, do the whole scene where she's putting the message into R2. But overall, I think she looks pretty good. Good looking figure for sure. And while we're looking at her head sculpt, let's take a look at the other head that is actually a swappable face. So, to swap the face, you actually can pull these off. It gives it a little room. And then you just pull the face off forward, which can be a little tight. I'm going to do it off camera because it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. So there you have the 2 pieces off. And then you just swap on the other piece. Pop the head back on. 1, 2. And there's the other head sculpt. And I'll leave that one on for the rest of the review. But she's looking off to the side. So that's the first accessory, essentially. And then the other thing that she comes with is the hood that you can swap on. And it sort of pegs into the neck. It looks okay. I'll show you what it looks like. Thing is, it doesn't allow for too much looking up because it wants to lift up out of the neck hole and create a gap there. So it can be a little finicky. And again, this is what I was talking about earlier about this figure being a little kind of annoying sometimes when you're trying to get it into the right pose. But when you get this thing sitting right, it looks pretty good. Doesn't look floaty or anything. It kind of seems to naturally sit towards the back of her head like this. There we go. I did notice that this face sculpt has a little bit of a blemish on the cheek. It looks like a scuff right there. But otherwise, they're pretty clean, pretty good looking face sculpts. Okay, so let's see. So this hand right here is one of two blaster cradling hands. Okay, and then this here is one of two blaster holding hands, trigger finger hands. And then the other set she comes with is just two kind of relaxed hands. You might use these if you are having her, you know, if you're going to try to recreate the scene with R2. You know, this hand reaching forward to R2. No fists. And then she comes with two blasters. So we got Stormtrooper blaster. We've seen this a bunch of times. I'm pretty sure it's the same sculpt that they've been using. No extra paint, just black, unfortunately. And then this is a new one. So this is Leia's blaster. And again, no extra paint on this thing. Nicely detailed though. Nice stiff plastic. Doesn't feel like it's going to snap or anything, but it also doesn't feel rubbery. So articulation wise, she can look up this far. And again, it can be a little finicky with this thing moving around all the time and popping up and out. She can look down this far, so she's got pretty wide range of motion in the head. The neck turns, so you got to be kind of like aware of where the front of the neck is, and it can be weird to kind of try to keep track of that, but it's definitely like not just a perfect round shape, so there's a front of the neck. The shoulders have a pretty nice butterfly joint that blends in pretty well with the outfit. And then there's another joint in the shoulder itself, so there's quite a wide range of motion in the shoulders. You can go up this far, come across like this, and you know, 360. And of course, it popped out. All right. So really, what that is just, let me pop it out again. So this really is just a thing to keep it, to keep the shoulder looking clean and not gappy. Okay, so elbows, they do swivel here just a little bit. It's essentially a single hinge type joint, and it can hinge up that far. I mean, with an outfit like this, you're never really going to get, no matter what kind of a joint it is, you're not going to get too much range on that. And then the wrists have a hinge and swivel as well. You can see inside there. The waist, she can crunch forward, back that far, forward that far. The legs, hindered obviously a little bit by the skirt, but the legs will kick forward pretty far actually. Not that you could really ever do anything with that, but good range of motion there. The knee joint can bend this far, and as you can see, there's toe articulation. There's a swivel up top, And there's no swivel at the knee, really, or at the boot. And then pretty good range of motion in the feet. And they can rock. They're on that kind of weird sort of angled peg, but they rock like this. So they also have to turn if you're going to angle them. But that's a nice, because it gives a nice wide range of motion too. But again, you get her into a wide stance, and you're gonna have sort of like weird gappiness with the dress, so it can look a little off when you get those wide stances. I mean, the articulation is good, but I don't know how much of it you're really gonna ever use on a figure like this. And now for a little comparison, we will take a look at Leia next to the rest of the New Hope crew. So we've got Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Chewbacca, Darth Vader, C-3PO, and of course, R2-D2. The whole gang is in the house, and I think she fits in really well with these guys, so looking pretty good. I think this is kind of my favorite look for her, holding the blaster like this. I might have her on the shelf in this pose. I like this second head sculpt, and I do like the unique Princess Leia blaster. I think it's pretty cool. So that's probably, and also this pose where she's leaning back, you get to kind of like showcase the belt a little bit. So for me, this is the pose for this figure. But overall, it's a good figure. It's just a little annoying, and you got to have some patience when you're playing around with it, as you can see, as I was messing around with it. So I like it. I recommend it. I have a feeling that, being a regular release, you don't have to go crazy and try to find it. It's going to be readily available for quite a while, and I bet a couple months from now you'll be able to find it on discount. So great figure, recommend it, but don't necessarily have to rush out and buy it this instant unless you're a have it now kind of collector. Question of the day. Now that Tamashii Nations has finished the SH Figuarts New Hope lineup, pretty much, what is a figure that you hope they do for the first release when they start putting out Empire Strikes Back figures? I kind of think I want Bespin Luke. What do you want? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out our other videos like our review of the SH Figuarts Stormtrooper. Find links to the DorkLair Collecting Podcast and our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages in the description below, and may the Force be with you. DorkLair!